So where do you see the future of management education going?
Yeah, I mean, I can't claim, and I don't think anyone can claim to have a definitive answer to that question, right? I mean, it's an open-ended future in many respects. There are certainly developments that that you can kind of sketch out. I think for us and for many other schools, we are by no means exceptional in this respect. One of the things that we really need to work on, and that we are working on, is to develop, to shift our portfolio of programs in a fairly radical ways. If you look at our current portfolio of programs, and the same is true, as I said, for many other UK-based business schools, over 80%, way over 80%, it's more nearer 90% of our activity portfolio relates to students who are in the age range between 25 on the higher end and kind of 17 or 18 at the lower end. We want to shift that greatly and work with people from different walks in life, from different age ranges, different situations. We want to move much more into professional education as well. We are actively developing new programs and new types of programs. We already talked about digital. Developing blended offerings is certainly key on the agenda. And to do that with a particular quality and philosophy in mind, and not just putting up a program that we hope that others subscribe to, right? But so, for example, I was having a conversation with other colleagues this morning about degree apprenticeship programs, which is something that we want to do in a big way here. But then also to integrate other aspects that we want to see integrated in all our programs, for example, internationalization into that kind of concept, and not just put up that program, right? I mean, that's a big development for us. Another area of development, more generally speaking, if you look at the sector, I was talking earlier about a kind of supply and demand dynamics, if you will. So on the demand side, I think we will be seeing us moving away from dealing with individual students in a sense, and work more with aggregators, if you will, organizations, and maybe we are a player in that too, that really organize the access and contact the students, and also help the students to find the right kind of provider. On the supply side, I see already in the sector a lot of changes. So you see mergers and acquisitions of business schools. The merger between Henley and University of Reading is a classical example almost, and that's already some time ago. You see new types of providers, private businesses going into business education. BPP again is a big example here. But there are many others as well that do similar kind of things. So I think we will see a little bit of a shakeout as well of business schools. It's hard for business schools to identify which areas of activity they don't want to pursue, in particular if you're an established player, right? So we, for example, assume, and this is entirely hypothetical, that we decided to get out of research, right? That'd be really difficult for us to do, because obviously it would involve changing our faculty dramatically. But we see new providers, types of business schools, who do, for all intents and purposes, a good job at whatever it is that they're doing, but they're not providing research activities. So they have taken a decision not to get into an activity. We are already into that stream of activity, want to maintain it. There's absolutely no doubt about it, but we need to make it work, right? But wanting to change something like that would be very, very hard for us to do. So identifying what particular activities we don't want to pursue is as hard as identifying which activities we want to pursue in the future. And I think, again, other business schools and other deans are struggling with the same kind of issues as well.